Today we're diving into an action thriller film called The Gray Man. Sit back and enjoy the recap. The movie begins in a Florida state prison, where we meet a man named Fitzroy. He has a mission to free a prisoner known as Six. Once Six is liberated, he must join the CIA and work for Fitzroy's organization. Fast forward 18 years and Six has become a member of an elite CIA unit called Sierra. Partnered with Agent Miranda, they embark on a perilous mission in Bangkok. As Six prepares his weapon, Danny Carmichael, the head of CIA operations, briefs him. Their target, Dining, has been leaking sensitive information. Six zeroes in on Dining, poised to take him out. But wait, there's a child nearby. Despite Carmichael's orders, Six hesitates. He deceives Carmichael, then triggers the emergency alarm. Chaos erupts and Six faces off against Dining's security guards. After a fierce struggle, he confronts Dining, who reveals he was once Sierra 4. Just like that, Six takes him down. But there's more to uncover. In his dying moments, Sierra 4 divulges critical information. He warns Six that Carmichael is trouble. Handing Six a necklace with a hard drive, he urges him to expose Carmichael. With that, Sierra 4 takes his last breath, and Six departs, leaving the body for Miranda to handle. Upon inspecting Sierra 4's body, Carmichael discovers the hard drive is missing. Clearly annoyed, he contacts Six for an update. He inquires if Six took anything from the body, but Six denies it. Six realizes the hard drive is encrypted and must find a way to unlock it. He arranges for the drive to be delivered to Baku, Azerbaijan, for decryption. Six reaches out to the retired Fitzroy, expressing his worries about Carmichael. Alarmed, Fitzroy vows to send a local extraction team to protect him. Six informs Fitzroy about the hard drive with information that could expose Carmichael. Fitzroy instructs him to head to an airfield in Chiang Mai, where the extraction team will assist. As the tension rises, Carmichael confides in Suzanne, a fellow CIA agent, that Six knows the whereabouts of the drive and has refused to reveal it. He tells Suzanne it's time to bring in a specialist to handle the situation. Lloyd, portrayed as a true psychopath who delights in torturing his captives, receives a call from Carmichael. Carmichael assigns him the task of finding and eliminating Sierra 6, who holds sensitive information that could jeopardize them all. Carmichael insists that Lloyd retrieve the drive at any cost, and Lloyd asks for Fitzroy's files to target someone close to him. The plan is that threatening a loved one might force Fitzroy to divulge critical information about Six. Carmichael also mentions that Suzanne will assist Lloyd with the mission. Although Suzanne has reservations, she is unsure about Carmichael's methods and whether they are taking the correct approach. The story progresses to Chiang Mai, the extraction site where Six prepares to depart Bangkok with the local team sent by Fitzroy. Meanwhile, Agent Miranda, on her way to a mission in Singapore, receives a call from Carmichael directing her to meet him in Berlin. The tension escalates when Lloyd unexpectedly visits Fitzroy during a funeral, issuing a chilling ultimatum: reveal Six's location or face the consequences for his niece. Lloyd reveals he has already kidnapped Fitzroy's niece, having tracked her down using his personal files. He insists that disclosing Six's location is the only way to resolve this perilous situation. While transporting Six, the local team receives a shocking call from Fitzroy. He instructs them to eliminate Six, but quietly. The leader of the extraction team conveys the order to his crew, but Six, who was dozing, senses the impending danger and fights back. The ensuing struggle wreaks havoc on the plane, causing chaos and damage. Amidst the turmoil, Six manages to seize a parachute, but one of the local security guards wrestles it away from him. In a desperate act, Six jumps alongside the soldier and manages to strangle him mid-air before landing on the parachute. Alone and on the run, Six finds himself surrounded by enemies after the fall. Once he lands in Turkey, Six reaches out to Fitzroy to inform him about the plane fight and the attempt on his life. Fitzroy reveals that they have his niece Claire, which prompted his decision to terminate Six. Suddenly, Lloyd interrupts the call, demanding that Six return the asset. Defiantly, Six refuses, leading Fitzroy to mock him. Lloyd ominously warns Six that an elite team known as the Grey 18 is pursuing him, and there's nowhere left to run. The narrative flashes back to London 2 years prior, where Fitzroy summons Six for a meeting and introduces him to his niece Claire, who has been training under Margaret's guidance. Fitzroy cautions Six about the numerous enemies he has due to his line of work. Margaret reveals that someone in DC accidentally leaked Fitzroy's Hong Kong address where Claire lives. With Fitzroy embarking on a mission to Brazil and Carmichael refusing to provide security, it falls to Six to keep Claire safe. Fitzroy also mentions that Claire was born with a heart condition and has a pacemaker. The story continues as Six meets Claire. Their relationship begins to develop, highlighted by small moments, such as her taking a photograph of him. However, their newfound tranquility is shattered when Claire suddenly falls, crying out in pain. Six rushes her to the hospital where they discover a malfunction in her pacemaker. Luckily, they manage to fix it and can now monitor her pacemaker from home. Six notices the cameras are off and finds an intruder lurking. A confrontation ensues with Six overpowering the unexpected visitor. The commotion draws Claire out of her room, but he quickly reassures her, assuring her that everything is fine. In the present day, Six seeks a contact who can provide him with a new passport and identity. The man instructs Six to clean up for the passport photo. While tidying up, Six is flooded with memories of his father's mistreatment in the past. Once he is presentable, he receives an Ecuadorian passport. The man directs him to a platform for the photo, but as he begins to take pictures, it triggers a button that opens the platform, sending Six tumbling into a dry well. The man reveals that there is a significant bounty on Six's head. In a frantic attempt to escape, Six shoots at the glass above, but it is bulletproof. Trapped, he must devise a plan as the man meant to help him becomes yet another foe. Meanwhile, in Berlin at the CIA station, Agent Miranda faces intense interrogation from Carmichael. He warns her that any information she may have regarding Six's whereabouts or the location of the drive could lead to dire consequences. Carmichael reveals that they haven't had any intel on Six for the past 2 decades, making him the last remaining Sierra operative. At that moment, Carmichael receives a message on his phone indicating the location of Six's capture. Agent Miranda, quick to notice, reads the message reflected in his glasses. Word of Six's capture reaches Lloyd, adding another layer of complexity to this high-stakes game of cat and mouse. While all this unfolds, Six is busy formulating his escape plan. He bursts open the pipes to flood the well. Before long, Lloyd and his men arrive at the site. The man who captured Six, seeking his reward, is met with a bullet instead. Lloyd orders his men to scour the area. As they approach the well, Six manages to break the bulletproof glass using the force of the water. A fierce battle erupts with Lloyd's men, but Six soon finds himself cornered by Lloyd. During their confrontation, he throws a grenade, forcing everyone to scatter for cover. As he attempts to flee, Lloyd catches up with him once again. However, Agent Miranda comes to Six's rescue, shooting Lloyd with a tranquilizer dart. She commands Six to get into the trunk of her car, but when he refuses, she shoots him in the leg with another tranquilizer. The narrative then transports us to a castle in Croatia, where Lloyd has taken Fitzroy and his niece. Upon arrival, Suzanne confronts him, expressing her disapproval of the kidnappings. Lloyd, however, is irritated by her concerns. Frustrated, he retorts that he is her best option for retrieving the drive, and he has the upper hand by refusing to adhere to the rules. Cut to Agent Miranda and Six. She discloses that she has recently been pulled from field duty, and emphasizes that Six will help restore her reputation. She presses him about his theft from the agency. He reveals that Sierra 4 entrusted him with an encrypted drive just before his death. Unable to decipher it, he sent it to the UK agency chief, Margaret Cahill, who is based in Prague for decryption. Meanwhile, Lloyd learns about the package Six dispatched to Prague during the Bangkok mission. Seeking answers, he resorts to brutal methods, torturing Fitzroy for information. After a harrowing session involving nail plucking, Fitzroy finally speaks up. Next, Agent Miranda and Six pay a visit to Margaret in Prague. She discloses that the drive contains all of Carmichael's dirty secrets, his tortures and assassinations, clarifying why Six has a target on his back. She instructs them to copy the files and leak them to the media. Generously, she offers them her bulletproof car. However, their meeting is interrupted when Lloyd's men storm Margaret's location, unleashing a barrage of gunfire, all while Lloyd watches from Croatia. In the midst of the chaos, Margaret directs Six to a concealed escape route in the basement, but she locks herself out. Six pleads for her to open the door, but she remains firm. In a selfless act of sacrifice, she detonates the entire apartment, taking out Lloyd's men with her. After the explosion, the police arrive on the scene. They attempt to apprehend Six, but he fights back and makes a break for it, sparking a high-speed chase. The pursuit concludes when Six crashes, leading the police to handcuff him to a bench in a city square. As Lloyd's Alpha team descends on the location, Six tries to alert the officers to evacuate, but they ignore him. In a desperate bid to disperse the crowd, Six fires a weapon into the air, creating panic and chaos. This ignites a firefight between the police and the Alpha team, resulting in significant casualties among the officers.
As the conflict escalates, Six takes cover. The situation worsens with the arrival of a SWAT team equipped with machine guns. They begin firing at Lloyd's men, prompting Lloyd to send in the Bravo team to confront the police. The SWAT team retaliates with a heavy volley of gunfire against the Bravo team, hindering their approach to Six. Amidst the turmoil, Six seizes a gun and retaliates against the Alpha team. After a fierce exchange of gunfire, he manages to break free from the handcuffs and leaps onto a moving train, narrowly escaping the fierce battlefield. The chase heightens as Lloyd's men pursue Six onto the train, showering him with bullets. Miraculously, Agent Miranda arrives in Margaret's bulletproof car to rescue Six. However, their getaway is unnoticed as city police give chase, igniting a chaotic pursuit through the city. In the midst of this turmoil, the train carrying Six crashes. Seizing the opportunity, Six leaps from the wreck back into Miranda's speeding car, barely evading capture. After the chaos subsides, Lloyd learns of his team's failure. With limited options, he instructs another agent, Avic, to track down and retrieve the hard drive. The story continues with Six and Miranda heading to Claire's hospital to locate her, hoping to orchestrate a rescue. They manage to obtain a hospital swipe card, which they utilize to trace Claire, but their plan is thwarted by Avic, who demands the drive. Upon their refusal, Avic mercilessly overpowers them, seizing the drive. With Six gravely injured from the encounter, they retreat to a secure location for him to receive medical attention. As he treats his wounds, Miranda questions him about his past, specifically regarding his time in prison. He reveals that his father was a tyrannical figure, intent on shaping him and his brother in his own image. The abuse escalated to the point where Six took his father's life, landing him in prison. It was only when Fitzroy discovered him that he was offered a way out. The narrative unfolds as Avic hands over the sought-after drive to Lloyd, completing his mission. Meanwhile, Six and Miranda make their way to the fortress where Fitzroy and Claire are being held. They successfully ambush a few guards, acquiring heavy-duty weaponry along the way. Armed with an RPG, Miranda begins her assault, creating chaos and destruction, while Six infiltrates the fortress to rescue Fitzroy and Claire. Amid the pandemonium, Avic retrieves the fallen drive. Despite their courageous efforts, Six and Fitzroy find themselves pursued by Lloyd and his men. Critically wounded, Fitzroy urges Six to continue without him, entrusting Claire to his care. With no other option, Six and Claire jump into the nearby river to evade capture. Left behind, Fitzroy makes the ultimate sacrifice, detonating a grenade that eliminates Lloyd and his men, buying precious time for Six and Claire. Just when they think they are safe, Lloyd, having somehow survived the explosion, reappears. Simultaneously, Miranda confronts Avic. Just as Avic is about to deal a fatal blow, he surprises Miranda by handing over the drive. He admits that Lloyd and his men lack honor and do not deserve the drive. Lloyd manages to capture Claire, holding her hostage and forcing Six into a deadly fistfight. Realizing he is losing, Lloyd resorts to using a knife, stabbing Six multiple times. Despite his wounds, Six manages to overpower Lloyd. Suddenly, Suzanne enters the fray and shoots Lloyd. With him dead, she presents a deal to Six. She informs him that Lloyd will be the scapegoat for all their misdeeds, and all she requires is a witness to corroborate her story. If Six agrees, Claire will be spared. Caught in a precarious situation, he faces a difficult decision. Noticing Six's critical condition, Suzanne promptly ensures he receives medical attention. In the following scene, we see Carmichael, Suzanne, and Miranda being cleared of all criminal charges by the CIA's higher authorities. This occurs after Carmichael destroys the drive, eliminating any incriminating evidence against them. Carmichael questions Suzanne about Six's location, to which she responds that he is being held in a high-security facility. Suzanne plans to use him as a pawn, leveraging Claire's safety as a hostage in Virginia. When Suzanne and Carmichael arrive at Six's location to negotiate new blackmail terms, they are shocked to find that Six has not only escaped, but has also eliminated every guard on his way out. Time is of the essence for Six, who rushes to rescue Claire from Suzanne's men. In a deeply emotional scene, Six and Claire finally reunite, joyfully back together at last. Thank you for watching.
Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more movie recaps.